the JKA Massey Instructors course. Now, yesterday we took up the subject of KUKAN, and today I want to continue with just a few more points around about KUKAN. So first of all, I'll just put up the kanji here again for KUKAN. So ku here, as we said yesterday, means empty or space. Empty space in this case is kan. So let's call that space. Now, yesterday I was mentioning the idea, and I laid out on the floor the concept of KUKAN for each individual karateka. So basically you make your own space in karate, and you can go forward, backwards or sideways or diagonally to make this space for KUMITE. So we're talking, this subject today is still on the subject of KUMITE. Now I want to go on a little bit more from that, so I'll just leave the KUKAN kanji up there so you can remember that one. And just do a small drawing here. So first of all, let's put this here. And go across here. So, this won't be perfect, so sorry about that, but you'll get the idea of what I'm looking at in a moment. And get split there. Make sure I don't knock the board over while I'm at it. So basically we've got these 8 directions. If we consider that a person is standing here with his feet, and like so, then obviously this would be, from this person's point of view, would be front, and this would be back. Now the idea of this is that this, as we said yesterday, is whole space, the movement backwards, forwards, or sideways, or diagonally. Now, first of all, we're going to look at the subject of kuzushi. So let's take our kanji for here, and this one is kuzushi. Now, kuzu comes from kuzusu, and this primarily means to break, collapse, or crash into something, even demolish it. So let's just say break, for want of an easier word. And when we say kuzushi, it comes here, kuzushi just means to do the action of. So shi means do. So this shi means to do, or to break, to crash into something and to break it. Now we basically have different directions, and I think an easy way to explain this is by using some kata movements, so you can see how this would work. So let's say, for example, how would we break balance by going forward? We could almost say, let's say zen kuzushi, we're moving forward as a kuzushi concept. So that would be, just take a little, let's do this as number 1. So this number 1 would be in this direction, following here. Now if you think about the first move of Basai Dai, that penetrating the fortress concept of moving in with your hands, so we're coming from here and we're going straight forward with the Basai Dai movement. So that could be an attacking forward motion kuzushi, if you can get that idea. Imagine that for KUMITE. I'm just trying to give you some comparisons so it's easy to follow. If we were to look at the second set of moves, let's just use a different colour here so you can get the difference. So let's say this way, or this way. So that would be in this direction or this direction. So the person is standing here and then moving forward naname, or naname, meaning diagonal. If you think about unsu and the kawashigeri in unsu, you can see that this movement is dropping down like fusei, going flat with your hands, dropping on the floor and moving to the side. Okay, so actually there is a word for that also, which I'll just put up here. So first of all we have kazushi as going forward. Then this one we could say is kawashi. And kawashi means to dodge or evade or to sidestep, as in the moves of unsu, perhaps move 16, 17, you know, when you drop down moshigere, drop down moshigere. So this is the movement here for kawashi, so it means to dodge or to move to the side. Now obviously we then have sideways, okay, so again use a different colour for that one so that we can see the difference. So let's say sideways, obviously it can be one direction or the other. Now if you could take a look at perhaps NP, when we first start the first move of NP, we are going to move to the side. So this movement could be a lateral movement. Also you could think about, just to give a concept of the idea, kankusho, first movement of kankusho, you're going to move this way for the morote uke. So these are lateral or sideways movements. So these could also be kazushi, because you're breaking the balance or movement or perception of the other person's kukan by not being there. Now the last ones we could say for this one, we don't have any different colours there, but, so we'll go back to red. So let's go back this way, or this way. So these can be naname, going backwards. So rather than going forwards and moving into something, maybe we could move backwards, go into something. Even the basai sho kind of movement, you're in a backward angle, naname backwards. So that could be the last two moves of basai sho, for example. And the last one, going back, so that is literally straight backwards. Imagine the osei yuki of Niju Shiho, and you get the idea. The first movement there is going straight back. And this also breaks the balance of the other person by pulling them on. So any way you can go forwards, sideways, or diagonally, and in each situation you will break balance. So these are all kuzusu, or kuzushi as we call it, for the actual practice. So this is the doing of the breaking of the balance. So we've also got one last movement there, which could be included in this group, and that could be kensei. Actually, let's just move that out of there, otherwise it's getting a bit confusing. So kensei, just put up the kanjis here for these two. So this kanji here is for kawashi. Usually it's, actually that's not a kanji, it's a hiragana. The kanji is not usually used in Japanese, so just kawashi. So this one just means to make a side step or move to the side, as I say, we like unsu. And the other one that can be called here, this is kensei. Again, this means to sort of grab somebody by the hand, almost like tsukami. When you do a tsukami movement in any kata, you're grabbing and pulling the person on. So this is also breaking their balance. So we have now the whole subject is kukan. Yesterday I was talking about how to make the space, how to break the space is all about the kazushi. and the different ways in which you can break space. Now, we also have one last concept here, and this one is called saki. And I also have a kanji here for that one. So saki, actually it's kind of a strong definition, this one. It actually means to kill. So sa here just means to kill someone or murder. Quite a hard one. And ki, this you will also notice from before, is a spirit. So to break someone's spirit by killing them is called saki. So often in more difficult dojos where they practice very hard kumite, there is a thing called sakijutsu, and this is also how to practice kuzushi by evading or moving or getting out of the way of space, where somebody comes up from behind and tries to hit the person either with a fist or even with a stick, and then the person who's the tori has to roll out of the way or evade or move almost by a sixth sense. So when you get the idea of kensei as grabbing, this could be more like a physical thing, and the saki goes over more into perhaps the mental perception type of concept. This is what I was saying yesterday about the kukan can be broken physically just by crashing in, or the kukan can be broken sort of mentally by distracting your opponent, by feinting on your opponent, or by moving out of the way and being aware. You could say really at the end of the day for kukan, the definition could be applied to a master. When a master is really applying kukan, he just seems to have that sixth sense. He seems to know where people are going to go, and he knows not to be there or how to counteract that movement by any one of these directional moves. So I think that's really what we could say separates the men from the boys, or the master from the student, is the person who's mastered the kukan. He's got his karate totally under his control. Good, so I think that's all we're going to do for this one. That finishes up the subject of kukan for this particular video, and also for kumite section. So see you next time. Us!